don't necessarily have issue with the fact that there may or may not be a God, but I do have an issue with saying there is a God.
Okay, so the reason why I'm asking that is because there are certain people like deists, for example, that they acknowledge the existence of a higher power. But have you heard deists? Yeah. So they affirm the existence of a higher power, like whatever it is above. But they don't subscribe to religion. So you don't have to believe in a religion to know that there is the creator or not.
No, but there's a difference between knowing that there's a God and believing that there's a God. So a theist, by definition, believes in God, right?
Well, you have to be more specific. A theist mean not only affirming the existence of the creator, but the creator intervenes and he sends prophets and he sends revelations to his creation.
Okay, sure.
Because the deists, they say that the creator exists, but he doesn't do anything.
Okay.
But we don't believe in that.
So do you believe that we are just random, that we just came into existence by randomness?
I accept that as a possibility.
Okay, so if I said to you, a jumbo jet that's flying at 500 miles per hour, at 45,000 feet, came into existence by itself, by nothing, through nothing, by nothing that came before it or after it. It just randomly, the electrical, mechanical, the metals came all together simultaneously by chance, and it just literally started flying by itself.
See your point.
Is that believable?
No, but at the same time, that's because we have invented jumbo jets in the time that humans have been around, right? We've invented jumbo jets very recently. They haven't been around for a very long time. The universe has been, well, it depends. By religion, it's different.
Okay, but you know as well as I do that for someone to create or make a jumbo jet has to have knowledge about mechanics,
Hold on. So given the length of the universe by scientific standards, which is 14 point something billion years old, right? It's a very, very long time. So in that time, there are near infinite, well not near infinite, there are a huge amount of random things that happen, given like the size of the universe as well. So think about the universe being nearly infinitely big, again not infinite, I don't know, and extremely old, and the amount of random things that can happen within that space of time. And then also bear in mind it's a gradual process, right? We didn't materialize out of nowhere. I'm not saying we randomly materialized.
Can you explain to me how randomness can create complexity?
Yeah.
How does okay, if I had 10 dices in my hand, right, and I roll the dices, right, and then I said to you that those dices formed a sentence saying, thank you for coming here today, right? By randomness,
Yes.
right? What are the chances of that randomness coming to existence? Just tell me the chance out of 1 out of 10.
Okay, so you see these lots manning. It's interesting you said that because I had this exact same conversation yesterday, right? So,
Do you know them? Snap.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. It's a very low chance, and it's an even lower chance that you have a complex
why
being.
is it a lower chance though? Explain to me, why is it a lower chance that if I had
Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, brother? Good? Alhamdulillah. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Alhamdulillah. Good to see you.
Why is it a less chance of that forming a sentence that's actually meaningful? Why is it less chance of it?
Because there's a lot of possible. There's a huge amount of numbers or combinations that they can form. So the fact that it forms a coherent sentence, it forming a coherent sentence is the chance of that's low in comparison to it forming a random jumble numbers, because there's much more nonsense that those marbles can spell out than coherent sentences.
I agree with you.
Right? So in that situation, you're saying the chances of our existence through randomness are like infinitesimally small, correct?
No. What I'm saying is that evolutionists, as well as people who do not believe in God or agnostic, one thing they cannot explain is complexities of something. Like for example,
I don't think we can explain complexities. I think we can explain complexities.
Okay, so explain to me.
It's a gradual process. It doesn't go from nothing to complex beings, right? The universe didn't start. There wasn't the Big Bang and then bang, humans straight. That's not how it happens. So even the Big Bang, we don't know if that's a fact or not. It's a theory, right? But say we take the Big Bang, right? Yeah. Big Bang happens.
So you're not sure about anything?
No, but we like in general, we aren't sure about it.
It's
The
very-
scientific community is not clear.
It's very interesting that you brought up about the scientific method. How can you scientifically prove to me probability exists? Probability is not even a. Probability is just a. It's an abstract. It's not an entity.
It's what we've named something.
Let's understand one thing. What's the definition of scientific method? The scientific method is the study of the physical world through experimentation, repeatability, and testability, correct? That is the definition of the scientific method, yeah. Right. So science can only verify things that are physical, something that's tangible. Okay? Now, how can you prove to me from scientific method that probability exists? Probability is not even an entity.
Yeah, because probability isn't something that we need to prove that exists. Probability is what we've assigned to some, like say, I don't know, like say with dice. The probability that a dice will land 1 out of 6. If you throw a dice 6 times, right? No.
But here's the thing that you misunderstood, because you're using empiricism. Yeah, you're using
I don't understand your argument. What do you mean by prove probability?
Okay,
What's the alternative to
no, because probability is an abstract. It's not an entity. It's not something that you can see, you can test under the microscope.
It's a way of testing. in a sense.
No, it's not.
It's like maths. Like numbers are abstract, but that doesn't.
Exactly. So how can you prove scientifically that numbers exist?
Numbers
empirically
don't exist in that regard.
So here's the thing. The reason why you believe in mathematics is not because of through scientific method. It's not because of that. It's because we as human beings, we conceptualized. That number one, can you prove to me? Yeah.
Mathematics works. So say numbers, right?
Yeah.
Numbers work. So say there's 3 things, right?
Yes.
I said there's 3 things.
Yeah.
That's the reason numbers work to quantify.
But that's just an idea.
It's an idea, but it works.
But it's not empirical.
But it works.
No. Here's what you don't understand.
What do you mean it's not empirical?
That's the scientific method. The scientific method is through observation, repeatability, and experimentation, right? Probability is a model that is not an entity. It's not something that you can test under the
If I'm
microscope.
not mistaken, you're comparing maths, probability, numbers.
It's all
and
linked.
how you can't prove them to how you can't prove the fact
But then
that
why
there's
do you
a God. I believe in one, but I don't believe in the other.
so why do you subscribe to a probabilistic model that we have no empirical evidence for it?
Because if something works to find, like, we can find results using numbers probability, right?
Okay, I understand that.
I can't find results using religion. I
Hey,
can't say
yeah.
this happens because of religion and say that's a fact. We don't say
don't-
things happen because of maths.
No, we're not talking about religion. What we're saying is, even in the scientific method, even reasoning and rationality is embedded. Yeah. So you have to use every avenue of knowledge that's available.
Which is why I don't subscribe to atheism either. That's why I don't say there is definitely no God.
Okay.
In my mind, that is like, I don't see religion as logical per se.
I understand.
But in my mind, atheism is equally as illogical.
So you do take reasoning into consideration. So not just the scientific
But
method.
that's the point of scientific method, is to see like different possibilities. That's what theories are.
Okay, so you don't say seeing is believing. You believe in metaphysical things like consciousness.
So do you have to see something to believe in?
Yeah.
No, but I also
It's a proof.
the things that I can't see, I consider the fact that they may be as true. I also consider them not being.
Okay, I want to ask you this, right? The universe, right, is tilting 23 degrees on its axis. So the universe is tilting 23 degrees on its axis. If this universe was too close to the sun, we will cease to exist. If this universe, the Earth. If this universe was too far away from the sun, we will freeze to death.
Yeah.
Explain to me, right, because you believe in randomness, right?
Yeah.
Right. So explain to me, how is it possible, right, for the universe to be on its correct axis, right, that's tilting 23 degrees? How is it possible that can explain to me rationally how can that be
How
random?
can the Earth be on the correct axis for us to not die?
Sorry?
How can the Earth be on the correct axis relative to the Sun for us to be alive right now?
Absolutely.
Because
Explain.
there are billions of other planets in which planets are close to the Sun, right? And they are on the wrong axis and there is no life there. There are billions and billions and billions and billions of planets on which there are no life, in which there is no life, in which nothing occurs.
So
because
how
they
is
are
it
the
that
wrong.
this universe, we have the correct facilities like water, we have air, we have oxygen, right?
That's
we
no,
have,
well, that's
we
what I'm
have-
saying. It's a game of chance, right? So say you have
No, but why does other
Randomness doesn't
Say you've
exist.
got a dice,
Randomness
right?
doesn't
Say you've got a
exist.
dice with
Doesn't exist.
23 million sides, right? And you throw that dice over and over and over again.
Yeah.
99.99999% of the time, it's not going to land on the number 2. However, one time eventually, despite the probability being so low, if you give it 14.3 billion years, and you have like an infinite amount of space to do it, and you've got an infinite amount of dice rolling at the same time, eventually it's going to land on that number. And it's going to land on that number several times. I don't believe so. Would you say that we
So
are
hold
the
on,
only
do you
planet?
believe that the universe is eternal?
I can't say that. Again,
So you're unsure about anything?
I'm trying to understand something. because-
everybody is unsure about anything
No,
related.
I'm
to-
certain that I exist. I'm certain that I exist.
So do you? Hold
Okay.
on.
Sorry, one second. Look. The belief in the existence of God, we can give you rational and decisive proofs.
But they're based
right?
on something that isn't rational.
I'll give you, there's an argument in the Quran. And there's an argument in the Quran, I don't know if the brothers have already shared this with you. The Quran gives a powerful argument for people who deny or doubt the existence of the Creator, like yourself. Quran mentions in chapter 52, verse 35 to 36. It says, أَمْ خُلِقُوا مِنْ غَيْرِ شَيْءٍ أَمْ هُمُ الْخَالِقُونَ أَمْ خَلَقُوا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ بَلْ لَا يُقِنُونَ. Or were they created from nothing? Or did they create themselves? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Surely they have no firm belief. So let's analyze this. This is supposed to be a rhetorical argument for you. Yeah? Nothing cannot bring into something because nothing itself is not even a thing, let alone something. Okay? So we can rule that out. Did you create yourself? That's an impossible. That's impossible because you are then postulating that you exist and not exist at the same time. Either you always existed or you have a beginning. It's like saying that you gave that our mothers gave birth to themselves, and that is illogical and irrational.
Again,
So the only evidence, the only option that is left on the table, there has to be the originator. There has to be the creator that always existed. No beginning, no end.
so
That's a rational
I've
proof.
Had a discussion similar to that.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the start of the universe essentially. How was the universe created?
No.
Like where did the Big Bang come from? No.
No. Because look, we're talking about there's different avenues of knowledge. One of them is intuition, fitrah. We know everything that we experience. We know everything began to exist.
Okay.
We know that. That's from my
Everything
experience.
began to exist, and you're saying how can everything come from nothing? Considering nothing isn't a thing, right?
Yeah.
So it had to be created.
Why is there something rather than nothing?
Because we know nothing is the absence of
I
something.
think it's so. This is what I was saying earlier. It's human nature. It's human nature to find answers to questions that we don't know the answers to already.
But
So in my
yeah.
mind, religion
Yeah.
is a way to answer a question that we don't know the answer to. We don't understand what was before the Big Bang. If the Big Bang happened, whether it was like people say quantum fluctuations, whatever it was.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
We don't understand what it was.
Yeah.
So some people try to look into it scientifically. So far, it's not been well. It's been somewhat successful, but we still don't know the answers. And
Okay.
some people just put an answer on it. They say it was God, it was Allah, it was.
No, we're not talking. No, we're not saying that. We are just establishing. Look, you have to remember, Allah is name. Just forget about the name right now. Just the concept.
No, I understand.
There,
what you're
there
saying.
has to be. Look, there has to be the originator. Look, when you see this tree right here,
Where did the originator come from?
where the originator come from?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you have before by you saying where did the originator come from, you already believe that there is the originator.
No. For the sake of the argument,
Yeah.
In that scenario, let's
Yeah.
take. I'm not saying I agree with it, but let's say I
Okay.
do agree with it. Where did the originator come from?
But that's irrational. The reason why is because you cannot have is something called infinite regress.
An infinite regress of causes.
Infinite regresses. It's impossible. Infinity doesn't exist
Let's give him an example.
in the real world.
Let's
It
say,
doesn't-
for example,
there has to be somebody who has no beginning, no end. That
But why can't the universe have no beginning and no end? Why can't time be an?
okay. So do you subscribe to the view that the universe always existed?
Again, I view that
the
as a
reason why I asked.
possibility.
But everything for you is uncertainty, and you know.
course.
But this is what the Quran affirms.
No, but
that
I don't think it's.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an intelligent thing.
Okay,
to
what are you
do.
certain about? What are you certain about?
Which we-
What are you certain? What things can you say for certain that this thing is, this thing is not? Are you certain that you exist? First of all,
That's an interesting question.
are you certain? Wait. Are you certain? Are you certain that if you see somebody bashing up a child's head,
Yeah.
Is that right or wrong?
That's wrong.
That's wrong. Do you need to justify that? Or is it just exactly? So there are something called universal knowledge. Everyone knows. Yeah, you don't have to justify. Everybody
Intrinsic
knows.
morals, and they could have a biological basis for the survival of the human race. So it makes sense that you see a baby's face getting smashed in and think,
Yeah,
you know what?
but I'm talking about universal principles that everyone knows. Bashing up a child's head is wrong.
But they're not universal principles. They're only applicable to humans.
So are you saying that at any point it can be justified?
No, I'm not saying it's justifiable. I'm saying you said they're universal principles. That means they apply throughout the universe. That's wrong.
They apply for everyone. If you ask every person here in the park,
People. You're talking about people. Let's take a monkey, right? You see monkeys bashing in babies' brains. That happens.
yeah.
Right? That means it's not a universal.
No. I'm not talking about
people.
animals. I'm talking about humans like
Right,
us.
so that's what I said earlier. You're
Yeah.
talking about people, you're talking about humans.
Yeah.
It makes sense from a biological standpoint that we would have intrinsic morals
Yeah.
that would allow for the survival of the human race. So I see a baby's brains being bashed in.
Yeah.
That is not.
That's morally wrong.
No, that's morally wrong. But the reason that's morally wrong, the reason that we always think that's morally wrong, is because that's not conducive to the survival of the human race. Say thousands of years ago, right?
Right.
I don't know what you believe in terms of evolution, but say thousands of years ago, humans are not as populated as we are now, right?
Okay.
You need the human race to continue, right? That's why we have kids. We're biologically wired to have kids so that the human race continues. It's not conducive for the human race to continue seeing somebody bash a baby.
No, that's procreation.
That's taking a life.
That's procreation.
You know what I'm saying? Taking a life.
No. That's procreation. But I'm asking you, is it wrong morally that if you see somebody bashing up a child's head, that's wrong?
No, I know what
From
you're
your
saying.
moral compass, you
Yes,
know it's wrong.
I'm saying my
like for
moral
example,
compass only exists.
like for example, if you go to your kitchen and you want to boil a kettle, right? You have a water inside that you want to boil. When you touch the kettle, what would be your instant reaction?
Yeah, to move on.
Yeah. So similarly, when you see somebody bashing up
No,
a
I
child's
know what
head,
you mean. It's
that
morally
is your
wrong.
natural
I'm saying
instinct.
the
That's what I'm
reason-
telling
That's
you.
what I'm saying. So the
Yeah.
reason I have those morals in the first place
Is why?
is due to biological reasons.
No.
That's what I was saying earlier.
No.
Why not? Because some morality is objective.
So
and
can you?
some
Oh, so
morality is
biologically.
not subjective.
Okay. So biologically, hang on. By the way, biology cannot even determine what's moral or not. Biology doesn't talk about what's moral or not. Biology only explains the mechanism,
No, listen.
but it doesn't
You're
talk
missing my
about
point.
the
So-
morals, the values.
You missed my point. So my point is,
Yeah.
there are, in my view,
Yeah.
this could be wrong.
Okay.
In my view, there are objective morals and there
Okay.
are non-objective morals. Right?
Okay, but is that objective moral?
Yes.
Okay.
And you
Colours.
get your objective morals not from a god, not because we were made in God's image, but because the objective moral, if you think about any objective moral,
Yeah.
they all stem from the survival of the human race.
But that's the reason why Ibn Qayyim, one of the scholars, he said that everyone does have objective morals, but we need more details about it. And that's the reason why revelation comes. Yeah? So there are things that we can all agree upon. Yeah? If you see this tree, have a look at this tree. Have a look at this tree. Have a look at this tree. From your natural instinct, can you say this come from nothing? A 10-year-old kid, a 5-year-old kid will say, no, this cannot come from nothing. No. There must be coming from something.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the natural inclination, the fitrah. That's one of the proofs. Another proof is sound reasoning, like I told you. Yeah, if I was to tell you, you enter into a lofty palace. Yeah, you enter into a lofty palace, and you see, have you been to a rainforest adventure? Tree tops, indoor rainforest. Yeah, you've been there. Imagine somebody enters in and say, no, this came from nothing. This came by itself.
Just came into existence.
It just came to
think-
existence.
I think
That goes
the
against
issue-
your
The
experience.
issue that we're having here is that you are acting, and this is also the issue I have with religion, right?
Okay.
It's not nothing straight to something big, right? It's like with religion, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Okay.
But do you not operate under the assumption that humans were made by Allah? So there was nothing. We weren't involved with monkeys. None of that. We were
created. We
by
were
Allah.
we were created by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, by Almighty God.
So there
Yes,
was
yes.
nothing but Him, and He created us, right?
There is nothing but Him.
And He created us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
So can I ask you, because I think there's a question that you raised, or brother raised, about the universe.
Right.
Do you believe that the universe is eternal? Do you believe that the
What, sorry?
universe? Do you believe that the universe?
But he's
is
not
eternal?
certain.
Do-
You can't even ask him this question. He's not even certain. So what are you certain about? I'm certain that I exist,
okay.
and you know everything that we experience in the universe, you know there's a beginning. This grass here has a beginning. This tree has a beginning. Our own existence has a beginning. By the way, there's a powerful verse in the Quran for us to think about. I'm not, just because I'm quoting from the Quran, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm saying this is a proof the Quran is the word of God. No. But I'm using arguments from the Quran to substantiate the existence of God. The Quran mentioned in chapter 76, verse 1. This is a powerful verse. Can you recite in Arabic and then I'll translate it? You know, هل أتى على الإنسان.
هل أتى على الإنسان حين
Powerful.
من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا.
I'll translate it. It says, has there not been a period of time when human beings were not even worthy to be mentioned of? And we created him from a mingled fluid. And then we gave him senses of hearing and sight. Imagine, think about your own existence. You didn't exist 100 years ago. We were nothing. We were just a fluid that we even, dismiss. There's no value to it. But this insignificant fluid, look at you right now. Proportionate, built. This cannot come from nothing. This cannot come from blind matter. You have intelligence.
From nothing. See, this was what I was going to say earlier, right?
Yeah.
About we were just created by Allah. So I think it's a gradual process. It's not nothing straight into something. Nothing turns into something small, turns into something bigger and bigger and bigger. That's how evolution works. So
forget about evolution. Evolution to interject
evolution
you.
is core to this argument.
No. Evolution. It doesn't explain. Doesn't really disprove the existence of God. And I tell you why.
It doesn't disprove the existence of God.
Okay.
But it does.
But you have to
use it to argue against the idea.
No, but you have to address the origin before. Look. Evolution is a transformation of one state to another. But you have to address the origin of the first matter. Where did it come from? That is what we're discussing about. We're not discussing about evolution.
So first life form, right? So, but in your eyes, the first life form. Human is a human, right? So
I don't. We believe. Yeah. Look. First, think about this. Can nothing bring into existence? Can nothing bring into something?
Can you get life from nothing? So that's a question that people have.
Come on, let's use that sound reason. Come on. Ask a 10-year-old kid, and they'll tell you no, it's impossible.
Okay, so
it's irrational.
You can't make something from nothing. You can't make.
Fantastic. Okay, now that something that we're talking about, does it have consciousness, self-awareness to bring the universe into existence? It has to.
Must be alive.
Must be. Yeah. It must have possessed knowledge. It must possess knowledge. It must possess power.
Sorry, say that again.
Okay, first of all, we can all agree that nothing cannot bring you to something, correct?
Sure.
Okay, brilliant. So that means there has to be something. That something, what is the characteristics of that something? What are the attributes? That attribute of something to bring the universe into existence must have self-aware.
No, sorry. No. Okay, so I thought you meant, can something come from nothing? No, you're saying does the creator of that something.
No, we've already agreed that.
No, but you're operating under the assumption that there is a creator.
No, I'm not. I'm saying, logically, rationally speaking, for example, can a rock create something?
No.
Why? It's still something. The rock is still something, correct?
Right.
Okay, but why would any person with their rational mind?
The rock cannot create something.
Why?
Does the rock have any attributes?
Does the rock? No,
The rock is not sentient.
No, not that. The rock does still have attributes, right? It's solid, it's granite, right? All of that. But I'm asking you, why can't the rock create something?
The rock is not sentient.
So what do you mean by sentient?
Sentient is not. It's not conscious. It doesn't have the ability.
Okay, brilliant. So it's not conscious. What's another reason?
Doesn't have the physical.
Doesn't have knowledge. Doesn't have knowledge. Doesn't have power. Doesn't have the ability. Okay. Now apply this to the universe.
Yes, but it's not. Again, you're operating under the assumption that there is a creator.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You're saying.
I'm talking about the concept.
Create something. The concept. It's not that we were created by something. It's that through randomness.
So are you saying it created itself?
Were created. Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Yes,
so you're created itself.
Yes.
So did you create yourself?
I didn't create myself. I occurred through certain processes.
No. See, now you're using an external process for your existence. But I'm asking you, did you create yourself?
Universe. I'm a human.
No, but you have intelligence. But you have intelligence, correct? Right. So why didn't you create yourself? Is it possible?
No, of course it's not possible.
Thank you. So you have to explain to me the origin. That's what we are trying to address.
Me.
Yes.
So humans occur when a sperm and an egg meet, right? And then that eventually develops into a fetus, and then the human comes out.
Right. So who gave you life?
My mother and my father.
Okay. So if your mother and father gave you life, how come when you die they can't give your life back?
See, no, I'm having this debate and I don't understand this point of
no. Hang on. Let's understand. If we were to create a phone from scratch,
because it's a random process. They cannot summon the same sperm cell and the same egg cell and then have them meet each other and make me again. That's impossible.
Okay.
There was trillions of sperm cells.
Right.
There was an egg cell, and I just happened to be one of those trillions of sperm cells.
Randomness doesn't exist in the real world. Randomness. The reason why we say something is random because we don't know the outcome. We lack knowledge. But that doesn't mean that things is spontaneous. For example, if I drop this cup, will it ever become a frog?
No.
Why not?
Well, no, okay, that cup won't become a frog.
No, that should be randomness. Why not? Why is there no chance of becoming a frog? Because everything, the universe, there's something called laws of physics. There's a law that's following. There's a nature. There's an order. There's a programming. Yeah? Randomness is just our perception, but it's not the reality. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm asking you the question, look at your heart. Why isn't your heart stopping? Who is controlling? If you allow me to call the human beings as machine, we're more complex than the machine. And you know that the machine, the robots, it requires intelligence. Somebody has to create this robot. Somebody has to encode, program information. So we're talking about human beings that's far more complex. Why? Because we appeal to emotion and rationality. Yeah? Robots don't have any feelings. They're only gone by program according to the creator, the manufacturer. What about us human beings? How can we have the free will to do whatever we want? How come? Do you understand what I mean? Why? Because it goes against your natural inclination to say, I come from nothing, I created itself. No. The only rational explanation.
Myself, or I came from nothing. I did not come from nothing, and I did
give me
not
anything. All right, give me one example you can give me in the universe where something created itself. Good question.
The energy of the universe.
Good question, Lee.
That's all into humans to believe or not to believe, however we are.
Good.
That's quite whole issue here is that we should all get on in peace on earth.
Of course, that's what Islam teaches us.
We've all existed forever in our spirits and we'll carry on existing.
Yeah.
And that's important. And I think that's
My sister, Islam came here. Islam, the deen of Islam, came here to perfect justice and completion and to remove from oppression. Okay? And the first message is to worship none but the Creator, not to associate partners with Him, and that we have to enjoy al-adl, justice, fairness, yeah, and we have to remove from oppression. But Islam came here for the solution. This one, telling you. Isa is one of our Isa ibn Maryam. Yes.
in Jesus.
I know.
But you have lots of people like myself
Yeah.
who I just believe in the energy of the universe,
Okay.
the energy of good, and the important thing is being kind and peaceful.
But
on earth.
energy itself cannot exist unless it's embodied. For example, like Steve,
Universe energy, what's that?
you're talking about nature. Nature's programming. Nature. Wait. 1 second. 1 second, Maya. Sorry. Nature. No. Nature is just another word for program. So if I was to ask you, you have a computer, and there's algorithm, there's coding, there's information. Are you saying this come by itself, or does it has to require intelligence?
The Big Bang, the Big Bang.
No, we're not talking about Big Bang. We're not talking about Big Bang. No, we're not talking about the Big Bang. We're talking about nature. No, sorry. Sorry. I don't.
Agree to disagree.
No problem. What I'm saying is nature is just another word for program. Everything's programmed. Your heart is programmed to pump blood. Yeah, your eyes have been programmed to see. Right? Okay. So it only actually strengthens the evidence that it has to be the creator. That's it.
The creator is the universe. The creator is energy.
Energy itself cannot bring into existence.